The man who knew my name. A few years ago, I was traveling alone through a small quiet town. It was late in the evening, and I stopped at a diner to grab a quick meal. The place was nearly empty, just a few locals chatting quietly in the corner. I sat at the counter and ordered a coffee and a sandwich. As I was waiting for my food, a man walked in. He was in his 50s, wearing a worn-out coat and carrying a small bag. He looked at me, smiled, and said, "Hi Alex. It's been a long time." I froze. My name is Alex, but I had never seen this man before in my life. He sat down a few seats away and ordered a coffee. I tried to play it cool and asked, "Sorry, have we met?" The man just smiled again. "Not yet," he said, stirring his coffee. "But we will. In about 5 years." I laughed nervously, thinking he was just messing with me, but something about the way he said it felt off. He wasn't joking. He knew things about me, specific details. He mentioned the name of my childhood dog, the street I grew up on, and even brought up a scar I have on my left knee from a bike accident when I was 10. At this point, I was freaked out. I asked him how he knew all of this, but he just shrugged and said, "I'm a friend. You'll understand someday." The waitress brought my food, and when I turned back, the man was gone. His coffee cup sat half empty on the counter, and his small bag was still on the floor. I asked the waitress where he went, but she looked confused and said no one had been sitting there. I didn't sleep much that night. 5 years later, I was moving into a new apartment in a different city when I saw a familiar face in the crowd. It was him. The same man from the diner. He nodded at me and smiled before disappearing into the crowd. I never saw him again. But I still wonder who he was and how he knew so much about me.